What is up, McManus MMA fam? Today I will be recapping my entire thoughts and very strong opinions on UFC Fight Night Bautista versus Oliveira. We're going to start from the very top and go all the way down. There's two fights in particular I need to vent about because they pissed me off so bad. First, let's talk about Mario Bautista versus Vinicius Oliveira. I don't know if there was something that happened, like right before the fight or something. Vinicius Oliveira looked so bad in this fight. I knew, like, going into this, like, Mario Bautista's levels of above Vinicius Oliveira, but I didn't think he would show it this candidly. This looked like the easiest dog walk Mario Bautista's had in his entire life. Vinicius Oliveira looked like he lost all of his energy, like, due to, like, a talisman or something. End of the first round, he stays seated on the ground, on the canvas, and they, patch him up. There's a moment in the first round where he's against the cage with Bautista, and Bautista's team goes, "I can hear him breathing already. Come on, look at him. He's already exhausted." And I was like, no, no, no. Vinicius is just getting started, man. I thought Mario Bautista was going to win this fight. I thought it was going to be like a decision, like he was just going to belt to ass Vinicius for like 4 rounds, maybe lose one. No, he put belt to ass. First round, won. I would say he won the first round. I don't think Vinicius landed too many strikes in the first round. Didn't get anything, got taken down. Second round, dude, one of the most beautiful grappling exchanges I've ever seen. Goes, starting in the cage, goes into for a takedown, reverses it, or Vinicius goes to throw him down, immediately reverses it, gets on top, gets into a crucifix. Hamzat Chimaev maxes, but actually does damage when he's on top of him, instead of Hamzat where he just kind of like slaps Dricus du Plessis a couple times. Does damage. Vinicius bucks him up. He takes an arm, goes for a Kimura grip. Vinicius goes to stand up. He immediately transitions to back and locks up a rear naked choke. Oh my god, it was beautiful. It was so beautiful. But Vinicius looked like he wanted to be anywhere but there. He looked terrible. He looked so bad. Um, yeah, he looked horrible. I don't know if there was something that happened before or if this is. I don't remember him ever looking like this shitty. So I know Mario Bautista is that guy and he is better than we give him credit for. But how shit is Vinicius Oliveira? I guess is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, man, this was way quicker and way easier for Mario Bautista than I thought it was going to be. Congrats to him. I hope he fights. He called for Sandhagen, but I want to see Sandhagen O'Malley first. Um, so if that is booked for the White House, I know he's not going to wait. He took 0 damage. Maybe fight, maybe the loser of Marab and Jan 3, because everything is telling me that that's the fight that's going to happen. So either fight the loser of them, or he already fought Umar. So, bro, I don't know. Maybe Song Yadong. I don't know, man. I don't know. But Vinicius Oliveira, congrats, buddy. You're going to be sticking around the Apex for a long time. Moving on to the co-main event, bro, Kyoji Horiguchi. I know my prediction video, I was gassing up Kyoji Horiguchi and how awesome this guy is, but how awesome is Kyoji Horiguchi? This dude is so dope. This dude is so dope. Round one just absolutely blitzes him. He's so fast on the feet. His takedown defense is so strong. He just looked he just absolutely dismantled Amir Albazi, and I feel bad for Amir Albazi. He was clearly getting really discouraged. I mean, how can you not when Kyoji Horiguchi is literally blitzing the hell out of you the entire time? Um, and there was a couple moments where he really hurt Albazi. I think like he was on wobbly legs and his shoulders were kind of wiggling a little bit, and I was like, oh shit, here we go. He's going down for sure. He's going down. But Kyoji's smart enough to know not to chase the finish when you know he's fighting a dangerous opponent. He knows not to just jump in there. But Kyoji Horiguchi looked so strong in this fight. He called for a title shot immediately, which I think he needs one more win. Call me crazy, but we already have Manel Kopp and Tatsuro Taira who are up for title as well. Now we have Kyoji Horiguchi as well. I don't want to have a Volkanovski, Lopez, Murphy, and Evloev situation here where we have to have Horiguchi fight Manel Kopp and while Van and Taira fight. I don't know if I want to see that, but I think that there needs to be, another place holder so that Van can fight Taira or Kopp or whoever he's going to fight first, and then, the next guy fights. I think there needs to be a little more time. Amir Albazi, I'm sorry, my friend. I don't know what's next for you. Here's something that I need to talk about. I absolutely hate JAILTON Almeida. I know during his last performance against Alexander Volkov that it was one of the biggest disgraces to the entire sport ever, and we were all celebrating when they gave it to Volkov, even though he clearly lost that fight. So tell me why I, in my prediction, said, you know what, Jailton Almeida, I think he's going to wrestle Falkuniev, but I could see him trying to bounce back and, try and get a finish here so that he can, remind everybody why he's number 6 in the heavyweight division in the world. No, he goes out here and gets clinched against the cage. Not even a clinch. Kuniev kind of just put his head on his tits, and Jailton Almeida just didn't do anything. Didn't land a single strike in those clinches, and refused to just push him off. All he had to do was, he shows it at one point at the end of the fight, he pushes him off and just gets out of it immediately. This dude just sucks. He just refuses to fight. I don't know what's wrong with him. He couldn't land a takedown on Kuniev. Listen, Kuniev is not, you know, innocent in this either. He was the one who was initiating a lot of these clinch and, presses against the cage, but he also was landing strikes in those moments. Yes, most of the time he was pushing against Jailton Almeida, and they had a Herb or, it was either Herb or Mergliata. It might have been Mergliata who was breaking him up every 5 minutes, and I was just so sick of this. I was so sick of this. Round one, immediately I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be the whole fight. Starts round two, oh my god, they're gonna throw a punch. Nope, they're right back to it. They did that all three rounds was just holding against the cage, being broken up. Jailton Almeida would swing like 7 times. Kuniev would land a couple strikes, and then they would go right back to it. I'm dead serious when I say this. We need to start just cutting these guys even if they're ranked, who just suck and put on these terrible performances like this. We remove Shavkat from the rankings for his inactivity. Let's remove these people for their inactivity in the octagon. Let's get Taliesin Teixeira, Tai Tuivasa, Jailton Almeida. Clear out these divisions that suck. We need to start clearing out this heavyweight division and make room for guys who deserve to be there. Josh Hokett, Steven Asplin, these kind of guys who, rising stars in this division who I think should be up there instead of guys like Jailton Almeida who put on these terrible performances to the point where the entire Apex is booing you. The entirety of the Apex plus the commentary team is going, "Oh my god, like this is really what the." There's a moment in the fight where they're pressed against the cage in the commentary table, and you see Laura, Paul, and whoever else was there. I can't remember who else was there, and you just see them just frowning or straight faced with like their chin rest against their hand, just like, "Oh my god, this is really what we have to look at here." It's a disgrace. It's really a disgrace. I think Jailton Almeida, if he's shown us time and time again, this is what he does. This is just what he does. Send him somewhere else. Patchy Mix has a shit performance, and then fights and against Yakub, who's early on this card, and had like it was a bad fight, but it was close. At least they were throwing strikes, and you cut him immediately. Jailton Almeida is ranked. He does nothing. Yeah, sure, he takes these fights, but what is he gonna do? Nobody is excited when this guy fights. Nobody. If you're a Jailton Almeida fan, congrats, my friend. You need to go to the doctor's office immediately and have your brain scanned, because you might have worms or something in there. Your head might be an apple that's filled with worms. This dude is a disgrace to the sport. He needs to be cut. Cut this guy. Send him to PFL. Send him to One Championship. Send him to Ryzen. Send him to China. Bro, I don't care. Send this guy elsewhere. I never want to see this dude fight again. Never. Oh my god, I hate this guy so much. You'll see in the thumbnail as well. Moving on. Mikhail Olajaychek versus Marc-Andre Barriault. I had Olajaychek winning this fight, and I thought he almost put Barriault out in the first round. It was really close, but then he just couldn't get it. I got to give credit where credit is due to Barriault. He stayed in this fight the entire time. Round two, he kind of came back and had his moments. In the clinch, he would do the collar ties. He would grab the collar tie and would just blast these elbows in that little clinch collar tie. And he looked good. I was worried for Olajaychek in the second round. In the third round, Olajaychek picks up the pace again and starts getting these crazy counters, these 1-2s going again, and looking really sharp. Landing a couple really good kicks as well. He utilized that a lot. And I thought he looked really good in this fight. Yeah, he did not get a knockout. He almost did. But, I mean, Barriault is just a tough opponent, man. This dude's got a heart of iron and a chin of granite. So I gotta give credit where credit is due. This was a super entertaining fight. Super entertaining fight, great fight. It was just a slugfest. So I'm very happy Olajaychek got this win. I hope they give him somebody in the rankings next. Maybe no. I probably won't do a video on who I want to see them fight, but uh, I'm interested to see what they're gonna do. I am interested to see what they're gonna do. I hope they give him a ranked opponent, but then again, he's got his openings in his plan in his game, so he can be destroyed. But we'll see. We'll see. Let's move on to Fired Basharat versus Gene Matsumoto. Bro, this fight was so close. Look at these numbers, man. I I kind of agree. I thought John Matsumoto won this fight. I thought rounds 2 and 3 he picked it up, and I thought he won this fight. It was a split decision. I thought he won this fight. Yeah, he was wearing the damage a little bit more, but numbers wise, like I seriously do think that he won this fight. Basharat got 2 takedowns, and I think they were both in the third round to try and cement himself. But dude, I don't know. I thought Matsumoto was able to keep up the pace with him, with Basharat the most of the time, and was able to outstrike him a couple times. There were a couple moments where he was outstriking him. I agree with the Apex audience, which by the way, I'm loving the new Apex. I'm loving the new Apex. 200 plus seats or whatever they added, and everybody's rowdy in there. We hear a crowd now, and it's a small crowd and it's loud. I love it. I'm all for this new Apex. So I was all for it when they were booing when Basharat got this win because I thought Matsumoto got this done. I thought that he picked up the pace. Again, I thought he outstruck Basharat in the third round. Even though Basharat got 2 takedowns on him, Matsumoto got 7 early on. 7-2 takedowns. Landed more strikes. Basharat lands 4 more significant strikes. That's what wins in this fight. And like Matsumoto had like a cut on his cheek, and he was wearing the damage a little bit more. I mean, I guess, but honest to God, I thought Gene Matsumoto had this, and I picked Basharat to win by decision, um, and he didn't, or he did, and I was like, oh, I got my prediction right, but I'm honestly not that happy about it. So, congrats to Basharat, but I think Matsumoto was the better man tonight. I really do think he was the better man. So, uh, yeah, the Basharat brothers do what they do best and win by decision. Moving on, Dustin Jacoby versus Julius Walker. Yeah, this one exactly as I think most people thought it was going to be. Dude, he slept Julius Walker like it was bad. It was bad. He put him out. He put him out pretty bad. First round, I was like, oh man, Dustin Jacoby. He's susceptible to grappling pretty heavily. He's landing these heavy strikes, but he's susceptible to grappling. Second round starts and he just blasts him. I think it was a right cross, if I'm remembering correctly. I think it was a right cross that sat him down. And I was screaming at, I think it was Murgliata again, who I thought Julius Walker was out, and then he gets back up, gets put out again, out again, like 6 times. That's 2 times now, Herb. That's 2 times. Yeah, Dustin Jacoby again, I picked Dustin Jacoby to win this fight. He won the fight. I'm happy he won the fight. He looked good. But he was susceptible to the grappling just a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm going to take a swig of water and I'm going to edit it out. Ice cold water. Yeah, man. I don't know what to say. Dustin Jacoby he looked strong out there. He was utilizing the distance pretty well. Even though he would get into these situations where he was getting pressed and taken down, he was able to make the best of those opportunities, in my opinion. I mean, he got it done. What else do I need to say? Moving on to the prelims. Whew, this was war, man. Daniel Donchenko versus Alex Morono. This was war. Not really war, but I'm gonna give so much credit to Alex Morono. I thought he was gonna be put out in that first round. He almost was. He almost was put out, and survives. And then he really, this dude's chin is insane. He was taking crazy shots from Donchenko. He was throwing back too. He was throwing shots back. His leg, dude. Joe Rogan is having wet dreams about this at home. Dude, that calf is screwed, man. That calf is destroyed. Yeah, Alex Morono's leg was shot, like blown out, and he stood back up and he saw this one through. So I'm gonna give a lot of credit to Alex Morono. This was a lot of heart. He showed a lot of heart here. Donchenko again at his post fight little speech. He was like, "Dude, all credit to Alex Morono. This dude is crazy strong. I don't know how he survived. I hope I gave him fight of the night for a little bit of a bonus, and I hope so too because both these guys looked. I mean, Alex Morono didn't look great, but he was still standing, man. He was still standing. And I thought Donchenko was gonna knock him out. He almost did, but hey, that's okay. That's okay. This was still an awesome fight. Total scrap. Alex Morono, my heart goes out to you, my friend. You are gonna be needing a wheelchair for a couple days now. Moving on to Nikolai Veretennikov versus Nico Price. My dad texted me at the beginning of this fight and he goes, "Let's go Nico Price." And I shot a text back and said, "Nico Price, your time has come." Just put out instantly against the cage. He didn't know where he was. He was holding the cage. Looked like he was taking a breather, but he was out. Oh my gosh. Gets, I think, sniped again. I think it was like a right hander or it was a right like through, maybe it was a right cross. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm getting all these confused. Gets this nasty shot that just you. I'm sure the apex you heard it so loud. This smack sound. I was like, oh god, he's out cold. And then he's against the cage, landing some crazy ground and pound and some hammer fists. Starts to stand up, hits him again, and he was out against the cage, man. It was crazy. It was crazy. I picked Veretennikov to win this by knockout, and he wins it by knockout. I'm not going to say anything, but I only missed 2 predictions on this entire card, and they were the 2 biggest piece of dog shit fights ever. I've already talked about one. I picked JAILTON Almeida to win by decision by wrestle fucking, and he didn't. And we'll get to the next one next, but I think I did. This was my best predictions on any card I've ever done. So I picked Veretennikov to win this by knockout. He wins by knockout. Looked great. Not much to say. It was a minute-long fight. This fight, though, bro. How shit was this fight? How shit was this fight? Oh my god. I picked Bruna Brazil to win this fight. Ketlin Souza, she JAILTON Almeida was in her corner, bro. She would immediately go right to the cage, press Bruna Brazil against the cage. Bruna Brazil just couldn't do anything, couldn't get out of it, and Ketlin Souza would not land any significant strikes, not even a strike in general. She would just stand there and press her against the cage. The whole Apex was chanting, break them up, and they kept being broken up. Bruna Brazil would land a strike or two, and then they would immediately go right back to the cage. That was the entire fight. Oh my god, I was so mad. Paul Felder was getting pissed. He's like, look at her. She's not even doing anything. She's in these positions. She wants to get her to the ground. She finally gets her to the ground, and she doesn't even do anything with it. She just stands up and presses her against the cage again. For Ketlin Souza at the end of this fight to like stand there and be like, yes, dude, I can't believe I won this fight. Yeah, man, I did so good. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Stand your base. She looks like the guy that Jake Paul was gonna fight, Tank. I only know him as Tank. I don't remember his real name. Maybe you guys know who I'm talking about. She looks like that guy, and then Bruna Brazil just looked like Caitlin Clark. This was Caitlin Clark versus a male boxer. And I thought Bruna Brazil was. I mean, she looked like shit, but also like she was trying to make this fight entertaining. She was throwing spinning shits and doing bullshit, and then Ketlin Souza would just press her right against the cage. That was it. That was the whole fight. Oh my god. Oh my god. This fight pissed me off so much. Like, I know, I was texting my brother and my dad about this. I'm like, what a piece of shit fight. My brother was like, it's a chick fight, bro. What did you expect? Some of these chick fights are good, man. Some of these chick fights are good. I don't want to put down these female fighters like, bro, all female fighters suck dick. Because it's not true. But Ketlin Souza does. So, man, this was a piece of shit fight. I don't even want to talk about this one anymore. This one sucked so bad. Yavid Basharat versus Yanni Vasquez. Bro, tell me why Yanni Vasquez almost won this fight. I know looking at these numbers, you're like, bro, you're out of your mind. He kind of picked up the pace. He round 1 lost round 1. Round 2 arguably won round 2, in my opinion. He wobbled Basharat really bad. Earned his respect, immediately slowed him down. And then third round kind of got dominated a little bit, but did try to get 2 submission attempts in, and just couldn't get him. But yeah, I mean, I got to give credit to this guy. I was kind of putting him down, like, oh, bro, great. Another Hispanic guy that the UFC is just going to try and push. He's taking this fight on like 3 days notice or whatever. And he looked great. Not great, but he looked good. He was able to. Oh, excuse me, I'm tired. Oh my. Make this fight pretty competitive. A lot more competitive than I thought it was going to be. So I got to give credit where credit is due. Basharat does what Basharat does best and win by decision. He also almost put down Vasquez in the first round. And I was like, oh shit, he's going to prove me wrong. He's going to, dominantly win. Both the Basharat brothers, bro, having competitive fights. One of which, one of the brothers arguably lost, and the other one, this was a lot closer than we all thought it was going to be. So, congrats to him. Wong Kong versus Eduardo Mora. Dude, Wong Kong beatdown. So, round one, Wang Kong. I'm sorry, Wong Kong. Oh my god. Wang Kong. So, Kong in the first round establishes her kick, establishes her jab pretty early, and then gets taken down. Or no, she almost knocked Moira out in the first round. Sat her down bad, like sat her on her ass. And I was like, oh my god. Kong's going to win this fight in the first round. That's crazy. She survives. Second round starts, and Moira kind of dominated that second round. There was a judge who gave Kong the second round. Only in Vegas would you see some shit like that. There's no way in hell that Kong won the second round. Um, you could have honestly. I mean, I'm not going to say you can argue a 10-8, but she controlled Kong almost that entire fight. Was she Kong would get back up, she'd get tossed back down. Third round again, Kong just dominating, just getting these positions. Took her back for a little bit and was landing some pretty big strikes. Went for a rear naked and just didn't really have it and didn't really put much effort into it. She was gassed, I'm sure. Moira in the second round had one of the. I thought it was over. Like rear naked, it was in so tight, and I was like, oh my god, the fight's over. Kong just got submitted. That was crazy. She survives. Um, I gotta give credit where credit is due to both these gals. I mean, Moira gassed out in that third round, just completely gassed out. But Kong again. I said that she was just gonna outstrike her volume. She volume struck. Um, she looked okay in the grappling. She was able to stand up and get out of some of these sticky situations. But again, she got her back taken. Was in a rear naked that was so close to getting in. But um, yeah, this was not a bad fight, man. Not a bad fight. I can't believe a judge gave Kong the second round though. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. All right, Moon Gaffarov versus Jacob. Bro, a couple things. One, Gaffarov having Marab in his corner. We need Marab in every single corner. Yes, 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 yes. No, 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 no. That was Marab the entire time. I was cracking up. You could hear him over everybody. So Gaffarov is going to win the fight. Like or no, I guess he wasn't. They announced that uh, Velikis was going to win the fight by a unanimous decision if this didn't happen. So Jakub gets in this nasty rear naked and has it, and Gaffarov looks like he's fine. He puts up a thumbs up and then goes to take his mouth guard out and then immediately taps right as the horn goes off. And then they replayed it and they're like, oh yeah, he did tap before it was over. So yeah, this was a this was I thought this was a pretty damn good fight. I thought this was a pretty damn good fight. Crazy end to a fight too. I loved that they had every single person in the Apex huddled around all those little monitors watching over. Like, dude, did he actually tap? And then seeing whatever ref it was, I can't remember who it was. It wasn't Keith Peterson. Ah, damn, I can't remember who it was. Come in and be like, all right, guys, listen up. You did tap before the home was over, and then everybody in the Apex starts going crazy. Ah, let's go. Um, yeah, man, this I I I picked Jakob to win this fight. I thought he was gonna win by decision or by a guillotine submission. He jumped a couple guillotines. Some of them were closer than others, but yeah, he gets this rear naked at the end. Oh man, I that was what a wild end to a fight. This was I was very entertained by this fight. First fight of the night, Caitlin Sierga versus nobody, bro. Nobody. Um, she was fighting. Oh, who the hell was she fighting? I can't remember. Amanda Nunes was in her corner. The most thing I gotta pull up her name. The most thing that I'll say about the woman that she was fighting, she walked like a Sopranos character. Like she looked like Tony Soprano. Priscilla Cachoeira. Yeah, Cachoeira walks around and looks like a Sopranos character. Was walking around, just like an old Italian guy. That was the biggest comparison I could say. Just outstruck, outvolumed, outworked. Uh, Claudia was just more active. That's just what it was. Just was more active. Um, yeah, I don't know. Just was more active. Established the jab super early on and was just working behind it most of the fight. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. That was pretty much that fight. Not much. You can see the numbers. She clearly won. Um, Yeah, guys, that is my thoughts and opinions on this first fight night of the year. I'm very pleased. I thought this was a pretty damn good fight card, and I'm also loving the new Apex. I love the new Apex. I love the crowds. I love the energy. It's great. I'm all for it now. Fuck JAILTON Almeida, and fuck, oh shit, what's her name? Kellen Suerza, whatever her name is. Fuck those two guys. Cut JAILTON Almeida. Congrats, Mario Bautista. Let me know what your guys' thoughts and opinions are on this fight night. Did you watch it? Did you not? How awesome was Kyoji Horiguchi? And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.